This is where we try and draw your picture frame in Google SketchUp. Get rid of that. And there's me in the top right hand corner, hopefully. I hope you're all okay. This is what we're trying to draw. That is your picture frame. And this is where hopefully we should be able to do things. Right, so I've got this drawn. We should be able to take it apart. If I've clicked on that component, press M to move, what I can do is I can actually move this apart to show you what I've drawn. So that is one piece, and this is another piece. If I press M to move, grab it by the corner, move that out there. This is what you're trying to draw. Okay, so you can see those joints. There's a half lap joint and a bridle joint, which is what you're going to be doing for real when we eventually get back. So I'm going to take you through step by step how to draw that. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is press that icon there, and we're going to go new. And do I want to save those changes? No, let's not bother. Right, let's show you one or two new things here. Firstly, what I'm going to do is if you go to, where are we? Styles there. Click on there. One of the default styles is bottom right there. It's woodworking style. I prefer now working in that. So it gets rid of the green, which has always looked a bit odd. And now I can get rid of that. I'm going to try and do this as slowly as possible so that you can follow. So we'll get rid of Mr. Man there. Don't need him. Now, the size of the picture frame. I will send you details of the sizing, but first thing we're going to do is start drawing these rectangles. Click on that and click a rectangle. Now that's enormous. The first rectangle we're going to do, I'm just going to type into this bottom right hand corner here. So all the time you've got the rectangle tool open, you can just type into there, and we're going to make it, let me think, we think it is, we want it that shape, so we want it, I've forgotten what the dimensions are, I should have written them down really. Tell you what, give me a second, it is 32, comma, 220, so 15 millimeters, and press return. That's how big one of our side rails is. So we can now zoom into that. No, it's the right size. The other piece of wood you want at the top, that top rail, is 68 by 200. So we're still in rectangle tool. And what we can do, we can use what they call inference points. If I just click on the end point and move it up, can you see that green line following it? So if I now click there, you don't have to click on that first point, you just hover over it, and now I know those two are lined up. And I'm going to make that one, what do I need it? I need it to be 200, because it's 200 across, comma, 68. Press return, and that's the shape. So I'm going to come off the rectangle tool now, and to do that, I'm just pressing the space bar. You automatically get to there. So those two we know are lined up. What I'm now going to do is use the push-pull tool. So you can come down here, push-pull. You can also just press P, hover over there, and you know you can bring it up. But I just want it 20 millimeters. Click in 20, just like that. Now, I've discovered if I now double click on there, it will do exactly the same to that as it's just done. That did the reverse. Control Z. We won't use that one. What we'll do is we'll do this. The beauty of me showing you this is I'm still learning how to use this tool as well. So do not think just because it all goes a bit pear-shaped that it makes you rubbish, because it keeps going pear-shaped for me. Right, what I now need is another one of these here. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to copy. So I'm going to click spacebar up at the pointer. I'm going to triple click on there so it selects everything. Then I'm going to press the move button, which is M, and I'm just going to hold it there. And that means if I press, you can see I can move it, but if I press the control key, what I'm actually doing is copying it. So all the time that red line is lit, all the time the red line's there, we know these two are level. What I can then do, I'm going to come up and just click on that corner endpoint. Once you've clicked on it, hang on, that one there I want. Can you see I've got that green line? So all the time I've got that green line and the red line, I know that they're completely in line. So that's when I'm going to let go. Press the space bar again. But we now know these guys are in line. And if you go to views, click on there, scroll down, that one in the middle is the top view. Far away. Right. Triple click on there, press M, move it down a bit. I don't want them connected yet because we need to cut the joints first. So what I would suggest you do now is pause, and I want you to pause that now, so you can now get to this point. Right, some of you paused, some of you were doing it while I was doing it. What we can now do is start cutting those joints. So you should all have this shape. What we're going to do is cut those joints. So the first one we want is a half lap joint, and we're going to cut that in the bottom here and in the top here. Now there are various ways you can do it. The way I'm going to do it first is I'm going to flip that so I can look at the underside of that piece of wood. And I'm going to do the rectangle tool. I'm going to click there. I want my rectangle like that. But if I've got that on edge lit, what I can then do is I can start typing in some numbers. Now I know we want that 68 because that's the width of the other piece of wood. I want 68. But 68 is on the edge, so I could just press comma, but I'll type the 32 in as well. There we go. Now, what I can now do is push pull, and I can push that up. Now, we made that 20 millimeters deep, so if I just type in 10, now, I've been really bad here. I haven't saved this at all. So I'm going to save this. Save it. I'm going to save it as frame demo. Okay. Oh, it's then going to tell me where to save it. Let's just save it there. CAD-CAM tests. There you go. Select. So press the pointer or press just space bar. So we've got that joint cut there. Now we can cut it here. So again, press the rectangle tool. So you can either press that or you can press just R on your keyboard. Type in that. And we know this was 32 across, so we want it 68 by 32. what we can do is go to the push-pull tool or press P, drop that down by half the depth, which is 10. Done. So pause it now and see if you can cut those two joints, and then make sure you've saved it. Right, some of you are back. So what we're now going to do is cut the bridle joint the other side. I'm going to zoom out, I'm going to spin it round slightly, and in here. So what we now need is we need this to be divided into 3. And I've discovered a cheeky little tool for doing that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to press the pointer, so click on there, or press P, and I just want to select that line. So not that side or that side, it's just that line I want. And while I'm on that, if you press right click, you see here it says divide. And that means you can divide that line into as many as you like. I'm going to divide it into 3. And that actually cuts that line into 3 sections. So if I now click on there, just that bit selected. What I'm now going to do is just get this line drawing tool and draw a line from the end point there. And as long as that red is lit, it's the right angle. End point there, red line's lit, midpoint of, so it's the midpoint of this bit. Automatically I've divided it into 3. So pause it if you need to and just catch up. What I'm now going to do is pull. Now we know that this piece here is 60 millimeters from there to there. So we're going to use this, click on there, and we're going to push it in 68 millimeters. So if I just type in 68, now we need to do similar to this, but we're going to leave, we need to have the slot that slots into the fork there. So what I'm going to do, various ways we can do it. Let's do it like this. I'll tell you what, the same way, just to reinforce that. So I press space, there it goes, pointer, I'm just going to click that line, see, work at it. Once you've got that line, right click on divide, and I want it in 3 sections. There we go. Click on the line tool. That, so it's on the edge. Point that. Then push pull tool, so press P, or that bit there. That one there, we need to push in by. No, we don't at all. Forget that. So I'm going to press escape so it gets rid of that. It's these bits we need to do. Okay. I do make mistakes. And we need to go in 32 millimeters. I'm going to type in 32 return. And that start off and then press 32 return. And what we now have, let's save that. We now have, turn it round, the 2 joints are actually cut. So pause it and see if you can catch up. If you're finding that a struggle, this bridle joint took me ages to work out. If you're finding it a struggle, watch the last bit of the video again. And don't be afraid to do that, because I've watched so many videos online. Well, that's been my lockdown hobby. So what we can now do, we need to make each one of these a group. So I'm going to triple click, 1, 2, 3, right click, group. Exactly the same on these. Triple click, right click, group, and you know it's a group because you get this box all the way around it. This one here, triple click. Okay. What we can now do, we can move, we're going to sort of do a little bit of assembly here. We can move these bits of joint onto where they're supposed to be. So if I click on that, press M, or click on that tool there, I'm used to pressing M on the keyboard, and grab that corner. Always grab it by a corner. Don't grab it by the middle because you won't really know. So grab it by a corner. What I can do is grab that. What I'm going to do is move that and wait until you get that inference point, end point in group. Click there. Now these, when it gives you the inference points, so it says midpoint, they're very, very useful. It sort of snaps it to that. And you can see that that snaps back exactly the same with this. So click on there, press M or press that tool there, and then I'm going to grab that corner of group, wait for the inference point on the end. There's the end point in group, click, and then move, and there we have it, all nicely assembled. What we now need is that bottom rail. I would pause it now, get it grouped together. Okay, you're back? Excellent. Don't forget, rewatch. The very last thing we need to do is put the bottom rail on here. Click on rectangle, that's the bottom there. We know this other bit is the same piece of wood as that top rail, so this is going to be 68 millimeters and press turn. No, sorry, 68. I beg your pardon, I've done that wrong. We'll start. We'll do that again. I'll press escape, then we'll start again, and we need it to be 20, comma 68. I made a mistake, pressed escape, and I redid it. I keep making mistakes, but don't panic about it. Then we're going to go push pull, grab it there, we're going to start pushing, and we're going to get another inference point in a second, we hope. We go end point in group, click. So that's automatically made that exactly the right size. Fantastic. So that now is a beautiful drawing of our frame. So pause it now and get to that point because there's one more thing I want to show you. Right, you're back. What we now need to do is make sure it's all the right size. Now, if you've been typing in the numbers the same way I have, it should theoretically be the right size. But this is how to double check. So what we're going to do is put some dimensions on it. This tool here is what you want. Probably tape, click on it, click on dimensions. What you can now do is add all these dimensions in. So that one there, there, 220, and that. Oh, no, we don't want to grab that. Click on the dimension tool. Sure, there, that there should be 32. That one there, and there. Now, when you pull it out, it even get that little dotted line. I was pointing at the screen there. Get that little dotted line just to prove it's in line. And what we now do is this one. know by experience it should be 136. Well, what other dimension do we need? We need the that, that, so we know that. There's one other thing we haven't got, and that is the height of the one. Now that is now fully dimensioned, and what you can now do is save that, and you can also, when you save it like that. I'd like you to send it to me as the STL file, no, the SKE file. I think it saves it as. I want you to attach that when you have it working. Now I reckon doing will probably take a couple of lessons, but keep me informed as to how it's on. Don't forget, if it all goes wrong, it's gone wrong for me a couple of times just doing this. If it goes wrong, just go back to the last point. Don't forget Control Z or one of these buttons here. That's the undo tool. So I can undo that last dimension I did. But now I'll put it back. Okay, put it back in. So don't panic if it goes wrong. Just keep trying. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to do that in SketchUp um, a month ago. So I've learned how to do that while I've been just messing about with it, trying to teach you guys how to do it. But it's a brilliantly useful tool. The last thing you could do is the paint bucket here. Got paint. You scroll down here, materials, search the materials. Right, like some wood. Quite a light wood maybe. Now, if you just click once, it will do the face. If you double click, no, that's not how you do it. Control, click, see that little red thing that come underneath it. I'm pressing Control, click on it, and it should do the whole thing. Why is it not? Don't know. I might edit this bit out. Press Control, take your finger off. No, Control, yeah, Control, take your finger off, and then it works. Again, it didn't work first. Right, first here. There we go. So that's what you should end up with. If you want to, you can present it this way up, because you can see the dimensions all move, so they're still pointing the right way. You can show it that way up. Joints, you might want to put the dimensions this side. Right, I hope you followed this. If not, let me know and I'll have to redo it. Okay? Stop it. Here we go. Good luck.